But your favorite article, the ride of Paul Revere, could he do it today? And the answer to the question was?
The answer is, amazingly, he actually could do it today. In fact, the way state laws are written, some of our state laws go back a long ways, and horses actually still have the right of way on streets. We're not talking about a highway or divided highway situation or a tunnel. There are exclusions. You see signs, no horses allowed in tunnels.
So Revere couldn't take the Pike or 95?
No, but he didn't take the Pike in the first place.
Yeah.
So, actually the roads that exist today, actually he could take the same path he took back then. Yeah, those roads exist today. You can go, I think it's in Somerville, Broadway, and then, Mass Ave all the way. I was able to actually trace his exact route, and when I went about for this story, I had a lot of fun with it, obviously, asking different police or city solicitors, transportation departments in different towns, what would stop Revere? Well, it wouldn't be state law. You can ride a horse. You'd have to stay in the right-hand lane because you're slower traffic. Right. But the only things that might might get hung up on are he couldn't tie his horse to a tree anywhere because the horse would gnaw at the tree, and there are laws that still exist against horses gnawing on trees.
And eating grass.
Couldn't eat grass, couldn't take the horse on the sidewalk.
Yep, couldn't smoke it. If you can't eat it, I'm sure you can't smoke it either. Okay, just
couldn't
want to be clear on that.
Right. Yeah, they could pull him over. Actually, they probably could not even pull him over for under the influence because that applies only to motor vehicles. As do speeding laws, or he wouldn't even need to have a light on, like a bike helmet, because the law is written you have to have headlights only on motor vehicles. Right. So, but he would have to obey the all-important pooper scooper law. Pooper
scooper laws that apply to all four-legged animals.
That could slow him down. Yeah, that really could.
Now, did you the different towns he goes through? I can't remember the towns, but did you find that different cities and different townships had different laws that kind of applied?
A little. The state law in this case was the overriding factor. Along the way, let me say, actually, it's been a little while since I've written the story. The horse gnawing law, Somerville. He couldn't let it eat public grass in Somerville. Okay. In Medford, he would have to keep it off the sidewalk for sure. Okay. Lexington, he could be cited for maybe disturbing the peace. Yeah. For yelling out like a crazy man in the middle of the night, but that's not a motor vehicle violation. So, also pooper scooper law there, and in Lincoln and Concord. So, but he didn't make it to Concord, but he'd have to watch out for that at the end.
Interesting. And speed? No speeding?
Yeah, once again, and actually, I was able to speak with every year the National Lancers. They do a reenactment of Revere's ride. This is on Patriots Day, of course. And the horses it's at a good gallop. That horse gets to 25, 30 miles an hour. Okay. Which could be breaking the speeding laws. Yeah,
it's moving at a pretty good clip. So you could think,
you could think,
hey, there could be some danger.
Could he get a ticket?
Not according to Peter DeMarco, who taught you to ride in this particular case.
Exactly. Once again, you can only give a speeding ticket to a motor vehicle, and a horse is not a motor vehicle.
So there's a little gray involved there. Yeah, we'll have to talk to those guys up at the Montage unit, see what they have to say. Biggest pet peeve?
Oh, for me, that's easy. One of the great things about this column, personally, is I'm a Boston driver. I've been living here most of my life. I started off as aggressive as everybody else, and then I started learning about the laws. Yep. But what sort of gets me is people don't use their directionals. They don't use their turning signals, and to me, it's just such a. I was taught this when I got my license. If you're going to make a turn into the middle of the road, you use your directional. If you're going to make a right turn, left turn, use directional. If you're going to pull over the curb, you use your directionals. I still do it, and I was just driving here tonight, and 10 people in front of me, no directionals at all. Yeah. And to me, it's great. It's important because it's the one thing you can do as a driver that doesn't involve extending your hand and certain finger out the window. That lets other drivers know your intentions.
Yep. It's safe driving, it's courtesy, it's responsible driving, and So what would you do to try to solve that particular problem?
Yes.
I think this might be our last question. So
sure. My dream scenario, and I don't know, as an officer, I'd love your opinion on this because I don't know if this is possible, but to have an enforcement day, a directional signal enforcement day.
Enforcement day,
where you You advertise it. You put those big electronic signs up on the side of the road. In 2 weeks, on July 10th.
Yeah, you get pulled over for this. No brakes, no warnings. You're getting written up.
Exactly. Plenty of warning. Put an ad in the paper. Put it on. The Access Show here, and just let her know on this day you will be pulled over for not using your directionals. And maybe you give warnings. But you know what? If you set it up from 10 to 4 and you pull over 100 people. And people may actually remember, oh my gosh, this is a law.
This could work, brother. This is something we could totally look into.
I have a consulting fee we can talk about.
Right, I'm writing it down. How much time do we have left? No time left?
No time left at all.
Way too fast.
All right.
Peter, I got another couple sheets of questions. Thank you so much for coming in.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Boston Globe reporter, who taught you to drive, and if they wanted to check out some of your columns, how could they do that?
Sure. They appear in the regional editions of the paper, but if you're living in Boston, easiest place is boston.com/cars, and you'll find my column there. It's now on an every other week basis.
Buddy, great stuff. All right. Thank you so much for watching Call the Cops. Peter DeMarco, great guest. We'll see you next week. Until then, be safe and have a great week, everybody. Good night.